All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening to the episode of Full Body Cast Presents Garage Night. We got Craig Bentley and Corey Bentley, the Bentley Bros, coming to you live for your Friday morning, getting you ready for your Friday night and weekend. And we getting crazy. And we dropped one this morning that was an hour and a half. So last week we dropped an hour and a half one. If you made it all the way through, congratulations. I hope you liked and subscribed Chef Kai's YouTube channel, because that was a lot of fun. Great accents. I had one guy actually message me and say that he does better accents. And so I thought, well, maybe we'll have an accent off at some point in our lives. And I just met that guy. Maybe I should shout that guy out.
Does he cook?
Real quick.
They should have to cook in a different accent.
In accents. Yeah. No, it was Andrew Cleveland. Met him last week. He bought a hoodie off of me. Drove all the way 30 minutes out to see me to buy a hoodie for the first time. It was like during football. And so that was pretty cool. Shout out to him. All right, so let's get going. Garage Night brought to you by Cole Street Brewery, Mazatlan, and Bordeaux Wine Bar. Wear your Full Body Cast stuff, mention the podcast, and get some discounts. We got Craig Bentley on the mic.
Hey, good morning. In case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
I thought he was just going to be like a regular, like, good morning.
Good morning.
But then he just kept going.
I liked that. That was really good. I like that he had to write that down. He puts his phone away. He reads that. Then he puts his phone away like he couldn't memorize that on the way
I got
here.
a list of things.
How many he has saved in a row.
That's incredible. All right, we got Corey Bentley on the mic.
Good morning. And that's it.
I hope you have a terrible night.
Hope the rest of it doesn't happen.
I'm like your heartburn. I hope you have a horrible night. Turning 40. Turned 40.
That party was amazing.
Party was nuts.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was like the Mariners
sorry
playoff
I
run.
He was there. He was just hiding in the people.
The reason this is funny is because we're recording obviously before it, so hopefully it went well. It would be really bad if it didn't go well. Like it'd be really, really bad. Like if someone, like, let's say it collapsed the floor, people fell through, there was maybe a COVID outbreak. Like there's a lot of things that could go majorly wrong with this.
We know it won't happen because you're predicting it, just like your Mariners playoff.
And let's be realistic here. This is still getting released regardless.
Yeah, no matter what. My funeral, like I've died in between now and then, and people are just sitting there listening to this, and it's what he would have wanted.
How many people?
So you should probably edit this tomorrow before the party, or today before the party, or whatever.
No. Well, oh yeah, good point. I should teach someone how to do this.
How many people are invited?
There's a lot.
We should take. How many people do you think are coming?
There's
12.
There's not. There is. I'll tell you guys that I'm anticipating 60 to 70.
That's quite a bit of people.
That's quite a bit of people. Oh. Right now on
COVID, that means 120.
Why? What does that mean?
I'm just saying, it's like,
oh, it doubles.
Yeah.
Sees that and it shows up. It's like, ooh yeah. But we're all
to spread.
We're all vaccinated. We're all. I saw like that Enumclaw ski and mountain, the ski thing right next to the McDonald's.
Ski-in?
No, the what is it?
Ski-in's not vaccinated.
Not that. Yeah, no, definitely not vaccinated.
for anything.
But it said, "Are you waxed?" You know, it's getting ready for ski season. I like that. Are you waxed? And I thought maybe there could be people that would do that for if you're, get that Brazilian. That should be another thing. Are you waxed? In fact, if I was going into that place that gives you massages, they should have 2 check marks. One that says, "Are you vaxxed?" And then second one, "Are you waxed?"
Oh, they don't care if you're waxed. They'll touch anything.
That's so. See, that's another thing. When you picture massages, I think women picture massages. They're obviously not as hairy. Men, though, hairy back, man. Like that could get creepily weird. Do they wear gloves? Do they wear gloves with you guys?
Negative. No.
So they're not using the PPE. Did they wear masks?
They have the goggles on, though.
Using what?
PPE?
Oh, okay.
PPP? CPP? All right. So I got to tell this one because I was going to tell it last week, but I forgot. I'm telling it this week now. Remember that bus driver for my kid that had recognized me? Hey, Travis, like knew my name and all that?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I remember the story.
Okay. Now, doesn't call me Travis, just calls me Dad. I think maybe she got wind that I was talking about her. And sometimes you do that when like you realize like, whoa, this really went to this guy's head. I didn't bring him back down. Like you've done with coworkers before. Maybe you told a coworker, "Hey, great job, you're doing great, man. You're the best." And then they kind of act that way. They don't do, and so then you realize, okay, wait, I've over complimented this person, and they're not going to do the job. So I think she is bringing me back down to earth.
Playing the under.
And she's saying, "Hey, Dad, could you? Hey, Dad, thanks, Dad. Hey, Dad, you don't have to. In fact, Seahawks foul on my part." She goes, "Friday is Blue Friday on my bus, Dad." So my daughter should have worn some Seahawks gear.
So she was disappointed in you.
Disappointed in me and called me Dad. Maybe that's why.
The next time it's gonna be hey dude next time.
Or
Bro.
Hey bro.
you totally misinterpreted the whole thing and she never called you Travis.
No, she called me
place.
Travis. She said Travis.
You
You're Travis Kenny, right?
Okay.
She didn't say, "Hey, you're Daddy Dad," right?
What's like the worst thing she could call you to bring you down? Like Chief, like
Lenny, if you're listening.
Lenny.
If she gets
so
word.
if she's
If
a
she
listener,
listens- hey,
if
you listen.
next time you see him on the bus,
You
just
call
say,
me Lenny, then I know you listen. It's
Yeah.
code word, and
Yeah.
I won't be as mad. But I hate the word. I hate being called Lenny. Except I have.
But you would like it because you know she listens then.
Then I would like that.
Yeah.
She's like one of the only ones that can call me it.
You're allowed to call him Lenny
If you listen.
if you listen. Well, that's the only way she'll know that we had this conversation.
Right. So, yeah. So, yes. In fact, anybody, I think somebody else has called me Lenny out and about and thinking they're getting me good. And then I punch them in their face. But I have
Man punches bus driver arrested in Enumclaw.
drives bus into parked car that's right next to it because he doesn't know how to drive a bus.
Yeah, you jump in.
I go 4 feet, just hop out. You'll never catch me. But no, I actually have Leonard Fournette, and if you follow Twitterland, he likes to call himself. I think it came off of a Barstool podcast last year. They called him Playoff Lenny, and then he was Super Bowl, and then he wrote himself as Super Bowl champion Lenny. And then throughout the season, you'll hear commentators say regular season Lenny, end zone Lenny, if he scores. And so I've changed my name in the group that calls me Lenny the most, and now it's a positive. I call my team End Zone Lenny.
Way to take charge of that.
Yeah.
They can't get
Change
to
the
you.
narrative.
They can't
Yeah.
get to you.
Yeah, no, they can't hurt me.
Yeah.
I also have another one because they make fun of my laugh, and I call it, so I'm offensive cackle.
That's good.
That's a good one too. So
That's
it's offensive and it's an offensive tackle. I'm explaining it to these guys because they didn't.
They didn't like that one?
No, you guys.
Well,
Oh.
and you have a cackle, so
I have a cackle.
I understood.
I got it.
Yeah.
I feel like there should have been more laughter. What's that hat? That's a sweet looking hat.
This?
Yeah, it's got a beanie. It's got.
It's a little firecracker. It's
Is it-
Sid's fast pitch team.
Was that? Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was if Chef Kai was now starting to sell dynamite
that would be
type.
awesome.
Here you go. It's a full buddy hat now.
It's got an F on it. I like it. That's really sweet.
There you go. That's for you.
Appreciate it. All right, so that's kind of what I had planned on. I just want to tell that story. We haven't done a lot of topical things too much. We can do a topical. I can grab some loaded questions, or I can just see how your guys' days are going.
I'll do whatever.
Okay,
whatever you need.
I'm ready for whatever.
Whatever. These guys both came straight after work. Usually they cruise in Fridays a little bit like maybe the day was off, maybe they were golfing. Now
Yes.
this Thursday is like
It's throwing me off.
yeah, Craig's literally like ready to open some spreadsheets. But the thing is that Craig doesn't actually have a job that
Yeah,
does
I was gonna
anything.
say.
So he's just like, yeah, sorry man, I've been faking it all day long, and it's just kind of really it really wears me out.
Just surveyed the day. That's all I've been doing.
Survey every day.
Are you? Do you go out in the wind like this? Pretty windy today. Do you go out in the wind like this?
Well, I mean, I did for 20 years before I went in the office.
But what do you do like when it's windy? Does it knock that stuff over?
No.
Nothing. Too heavy with the.
There's things like there if it's really windy and you do have to work.
If
And
you're a good surveyor.
This is before I was a city employee.
Oh yeah. So you don't work at all.
Yeah, in the private when
That
we
changes everything.
when we would have to work, you'd actually hang sandbags off of the tripod, and
Just
it would hold it down.
Really? Too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yes, you work
Dude.
rain, wind, anything.
What a good nickname to be called is sandbag, because then you'd be like, yeah, hold it down. Like you could be like, go to the club. I hold it down at the club. Mom, sandbag.
But if you have to explain it, is it really that good?
It's true.
Well, man, you got some moves for being called sandbag. Like, you'd think that the dance moves that you're doing right now at the club, you'd be like, why are you being called sandbag?
Sandbag could also refer to the way your body looks. I don't like that.
like like trash can chested.
Trash can chested. I thought I got away with that. I thought I got away from that, and then I posted that Ben Affleck picture of me, and was it Desi? Who was it?
Seth.
Oh yeah, that was Seth that said trash can chested. So glad that really left a prominent thing for him. Let's see. All right, so sandbagging, no wind. Are we at a pumpkin season for you yet?
No, I'm getting more. Well, I got more by the time this comes out that they're sending for no reason that I don't want.
Do you ever just tell the truck driver to send it back?
No, they sneak them in, and by the time I realize they're there, they're already gone.
Do they still drop off the dairy, like the overage of the dairy in the produce department?
We have like a huge ass compost bin now that everything goes into.
No. I mean, like, is it refrigerated?
The compost bin?
No. I mean, like,
where they put the loads at?
When the loads come in, sometimes you get those big, like, Easter and Thanksgiving and stuff, dairy loads.
Most of it goes. The dairy is big enough. Most of it.
They can handle it. Okay.
Do you think people grow pumpkins year round?
I don't know if they grow them year round. I know my parents like to grow pumpkins.
I'm just wondering if there's enough people that went in and asked if Safeway could carry pumpkins longer than just during this season, if they would do it.
You know what?
That's a good. You know what, Craig?
You know what we will do?
Pumpkins year round.
We will carry pumpkin seeds year round.
No,
and you
no,
can
no.
do your own.
No,
You're
no.
welcome.
I like that. Let's start an initiative. More pumpkins. I think I could have a nice pumpkin pie in the spring.
Yeah.
You don't use those for pumpkin pies anyway. You use sugar pumpkins for that.
You know, I use whatever pumpkin I want to.
Good luck for you then.
Hey, you know what? This is going to be, let's talk Halloween real quick. Okay? Because this is going to be released prior to Halloween. Me and my brother did a full brother cast. So you should have a pen and a paper in front of you. During this time, I would like you guys to write down your top 3 favorite, don't share it, but your top 3 favorite. I just threw that. Did you get it?
You could hear it.
I have one.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Now I have
your
2.
top 3 favorite childhood Halloween outfits that you had. Not your brother, but you had. You had 3 memorable favorite childhood Halloween outfits.
How old?
My outfits
doesn't matter
as an adult.
It could be.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we do adult?
You can do adult. You know, you guys have your big Halloween party every year, typically. So yeah, you can do that one as well. Top 3 that you've always done or that you've ever done: childhood, teenage, or adult. And then before you share them, Craig's gonna try and guess 3 of Corey's, and don't tell him if you got them right or wrong. Just nod your head and okay. And then Corey's going to try and guess 3 of Craig's, and then we'll go back and forth. I will share mine real quick. I dressed up as my dad for my 7th grade one with my last one. This was not mentioned. Sadie and I went to this was the replacement refs when the NFL went on strike. I was a replacement ref that said "Will Ref for Food," had a pizza box that was colored, and Sadie was also a ref, and we were throwing flags and didn't know I called a touchdown, she called it incomplete. That was a fun one. All right, so Corey, I want you to guess 3 of Craig's. You think what those 3 are of Craig's? Let's see how.
I'm not supposed to say yes or no.
You just nod your head
Can
in a way it was like a bobblehead. Like,
can I ask a question because I'm going to give you part of mine. Some of them adult and some of them kid.
2 adult, 1 kid.
Okay,
that's good. That's good. Okay, and then you don't tip your hat either way.
Okay.
I'm going to guess the heart costume, the heart on, when you were adult.
Did you say heart or hard on?
he was a heart that it said I got my heart on.
Okay, all right. Okay.
I'm gonna guess adult Seamus costume. And then I'm going to guess child Ninja Turtle.
All right. Don't say anything. Craig, I want you to guess 3 of Corey's.
So I have
Wait.
one child.
Okay.
And I actually wrote down 3 adults, so you have a good chance to get one.
Okay, all right. Way to go the extra mile.
We're going to go Blue Man Group, adult. Homer Simpson, adult. Abominable Snowman, adult. And we'll also do Ninja Turtle, kid.
Okay.
I just realized we had some good costumes as adults.
Okay, so we're gonna do a snake draft. We'll start with Corey since he has more. That means we'll be ending on Corey as well. So Corey, you don't have to say which one he got right. Just say the first one, and we'll see if he got at least the first one right.
Well, my child was Leonardo Ninja Turtles. That was one of my favorite childhood.
Now, was it face paint or was it like plastic mask?
It was a mask,
rubber banded around your head.
It was the old school costume.
Old school. And then who were you again?
Leo.
Leonardo. So you had the bow. Oh no, you had the sword.
Blue.
Yeah.
Donatello with the bow.
The best turtle.
Right.
Second best turtle.
Okay, all right. So now we're gonna go to Craig. If that coincides, he asked the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle your child one?
No.
Okay, and so who are you for your Ninja Turtle one?
I would have been Michelangelo.
And he has the nunchucks.
Yes.
Yeah, so I redeemed myself there. All right, so whatever one you want, top one, whether he does. Yeah.
Child costume.
Okay.
And maybe a little unfair for Corey because he was actually really young.
Is this the one with you and the cousin dude that was
No.
dressed up as like dancers?
This was it was a homemade clown outfit my mom made me.
Was it scary?
In kindergarten. It was just crazy, like made out of tablecloth and weird hair. And I mean, it was one of those like crazy costumes. And in all fairness, I was in kindergarten. Corey would have been pretty young, even though he has seen pictures
I've seen
of
pictures,
it.
yeah.
That would have been hard for him to guess.
Yeah.
Okay. We're not going to do a snake. We're going back to Corey.
All right. Next, I was a Yeti or an abominable snowman one year, and nobody knew I was coming to the party. So I put on the costume. I showed up. I had a Yankee Suck shirt over top my Yeti costume, and I showed up, and for like a half hour, nobody knew it was me. So I got away with it for like a half hour. I'd walk around. I kind of, put my head at people, and there was another guy there. He'd come up and he's like, look at me in the eyes, and I sat there for like a half hour, and nobody knew it was me until somebody pulled one of my gloves off and saw my wedding ring, and then they realized it was me. But for a half hour, nobody knew. Even nobody knew I was coming. I told everybody I couldn't be there.
Did you tell Craig that you were going to be there?
No.
Nobody.
Nobody.
So everyone didn't know if it was you. They didn't know how to ask. They were like
They kept trying to figure out who it was.
Did they almost not want you there? Like for a moment, like is this guy just crashing?
It was almost like who? Who's this guy?
Well, we knew it was somebody that hadn't showed up yet.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it could have been a lot of people at those parties.
And that was the one. And Craig did guess Abominable Snowman Yeti. Yeah. Okay. Craig.
I was a replica of Seamus.
Yeah.
Was that fun for you?
It was awesome. I enjoyed it.
Did you feel like you were ready to start running around the ring and jump off a turnbuckle and all that?
I pretended like that, and it was the shortest shorts I've ever worn in my life.
We actually have a really cool picture. 'Cause that year I was the Night Fiend. I had a motion mask.
Yeah.
And there's a picture of me holding his neck as Seamus, as the Night Fiend.
Yeah.
We'll have to post that.
Yeah,
It's a
you should
really cool
post
picture of
that
him
one.
as Seamus.
For sure. And would you be Seamus? Is it a repeat? Or was it a one and done? It was all that you ever imagined, and
it was probably one and done. I mean, I enjoyed it, but been there, done that. Always got to do something new.
Something new. All right, Corey, what's yours?
So one year I had a motion mask again. It was a devil motion mask, and I went as Bill Belichick. I had the hoodie.
Did you cut the sleeves off the
I
hoodie?
cut the sleeves off the hoodie. I was Bill Belichick as the devil.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty creative and creepy.
I went through a mask phase where I loved motion masks that I was wearing to parties.
You're like, listen, what can I do and wear a motion mask?
Pretty much. All my costumes for a while were around that.
All right, Craig, your last one.
My last one was it took some actual getting painted, but mine was Blue Man Group.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
So you guys were both. Who was the third?
We had 4 actually.
Wait. If we can't say the name, just say the Mystery Man if he's one of them.
Mystery Man and then Lee.
I feel like this this Blue Man Group would have been a good Blue Man Group, like a Russian doll Blue Man Group,
Dude,
where you would uncork one and the other one would come out.
We annoyed people all night long.
So
we had
played,
PVC pipe.
There was 2 tables. We were playing beer pong.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the entire night, we would break out like Blue Man Group, like drumming, and we would go over it while people were playing and just start beating on the tables all over the whole area. I mean, it was so loud. It echoed because it was in a basement.
Oh, there was
and it just
blue
echoed
paint everywhere in that house, too.
Were people mad? Was there a point
they were
where
getting
people,
to that point?
Yeah.
It got better as they kept drinking, though.
That's true.
All right.
So
Corey, your
my
last
last one was one year I couldn't think of a costume, and then it hit me. I went as Craig. And I asked him to borrow one of his hats and one of his shirts, and I don't know if he realized why I was asking at the time. And then I painted an orange goatee on, and I got my glasses out and wore the glasses and his hat, his surveying hat, and I went as Craig one year. He was Ace Ventura that year.
Oh, dude, you guys do have some pretty good ones. Have you guys ever been one that you're like, oh man, I wish I thought of that? Did you ever have like Halloween costume envy? Maybe not that year, but like, oh, that would have been a good one. Like next year, I wish I would have done that like next year.
There was some really cool. I remember Garrett did Green Man that one year. That was pretty funny. Steve Irwin, the year he died, he showed up with a barb in his chest.
Oh my gosh,
that was funny.
Wait, say it again, Mystery Man.
Yeah, Mystery Man.
Say it again. I'll edit that down.
Oh, I ain't gonna listen to it or care.
He will care.
He ain't gonna know about it.
Someone will tell him. And
okay, Mystery Man wore Steve Irwin costume with a barb sticking out of his chest, and then like fake blood everywhere.
Did people like want to turn him away at that point?
No, everybody loved it.
It was good.
There's been some really good costumes. Every year, I mean, especially from the beginning, everybody showed up with something. There's only one year somebody showed up without a costume.
They did. They were Marty McFly.
Yeah, they said they
from Back to the Future.
Do they get let in at that time? Oh, they were Marty. Was that you?
No.
They just had one of those puff vests on.
I dress up every year.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm never huge. I'm not a big Halloween guy, but if I'm gonna go to a party, I might as well wear a costume.
Right.
I had one actually. Now that I think about it, remember the baby one that I had?
Yeah. With the granny.
It was like if you moved down, you look like a baby, but if you moved up, you look like a grandma. So it was.
That's creepy.
It was.
That's very good.
The years we did paint, where I felt bad for Garrett. The Blue Man Group, there's paint all over his house.
I think there still is.
The year I did Homer Simpson, I was painted yellow with a brown goatee, and I was doing Homer dances drunk on the floor, and there was yellow paint everywhere, I'm sure, for me that year too.
Did they ever outlaw anything like, all right, no more paint?
They never said anything.
Nothing? Like, they're like, okay, is there a size? Did anyone go as a sumo guy? Remember when those inflatable things used to be like popular, the inflatable suits that where you could, any sumos?
I don't remember one. There was, I think, was it Katie? Somebody went as Octomom. I think it was Katie. So she had all the babies, and as we went through the night and we were drinking, I hid all the babies in her house. And she was finding them through the next day, and I think there was one that she said lasted like months before she found it.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's a fun thing. So we did something this time. We pulled out the Halloween decorations, and we have like those little mini plastic jack-o'-lanterns. Somehow we got them. I don't know how we got like 20 of them. But I gave them to a few of the kids, and I said, all right, guys, go spread these throughout the house. Like this is like, as we live our normal lives, we'll find this at some point, between now and Halloween. I found one in a coffee mug. Like the kids got super creative with it. So it was kind of fun. It's like having like an Easter thing. So who was that Seth that told the story? Who told the Vegas story?
You went to Vegas when you fell asleep?
Yeah, who told the story where they collected a bunch of those cards? Was that you guys?
I've only been to Vegas one time, so.
Somebody collected a bunch of those the nude cards that are like that will gosh, who was telling me the story? I'm going to tell the story and I'm not going to know who it was that.
Was it a listener?
Might have been. I'm sorry, whoever told this story. If it was you, message me and say, hey, that was my story. But they got a bunch of those cards that they hand out in Vegas where it's like stripper cards. It's like call this number and get a strip. You know, it's they look like they're like the size of a like a deck of cards in a sense. So whoever did it like grabbed like a massive amount of them. Like they just anytime they walked by, someone would hand them. You know, they'd get another one. They get another one. You know, you're walking everywhere, get off the escalator. There's a guy down there handing them out. Grab like 3, and so they collected them all into a plastic bag. Oh, I think it was the Stone Burners. That's who it was. And they then throughout the rest of the year, whether they went to a Thanksgiving family party or wherever, if they got invited for a dinner. They would then hide these cards throughout whoever's house it was like 2 or 3. They'd always have a few on them, and they'd hide it behind a picture frame. They'd hide it behind a plant. And so then throughout the year, they'd get a phone call or a text from somebody being like, "Oh yeah, hey, thanks. We just found another one of your dumb cards."
That's good.
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there you go. Well, I was gonna favorite. We're gonna do the brother test real quick. You got to say at the same time. There's no hesitation. I ask the question. Nod your head at me when you have it, and then you're gonna say it at the exact same time. Okay.
Yep.
So, favorite candy/candy bar to get when you were a kid when you were trick or treating. 1, 2, 3.
Skittles.
Reese's peanut butter cup.
Okay. All right. Let's see if you guys are brothers. Favorite? Did you guys ever watch like a Halloween special or TV show or a movie, Halloween-based movie when you were kids that you can remember? And don't say it, but just say if you remember it. Okay. It could have been
I know I watched them, but I don't remember.
But is there one that sticks out that's kind of stupid, or maybe a haunted movie or like a horror movie that maybe you watched as like a teenager?
I read a lot of Goosebumps. That was fun.
All right, close your eye, or not close your eyes, but just come up with an answer because Craig's got one. Nod at me when you guess that you might have it.
Sure.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Great pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Great pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
That would be a good intro. We got Craig on the mic.
Great pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
This is one that Corey likes, and we got Corey Bentley.
No.
All right, so
James and the Giant Peach.
all right, worst candy to get in the Halloween candy bag when people are giving it out. Give me a nod when you've got yours.
What are those called?
Go ahead and Corey needs to Corey's a Googler. Corey Googles. Corey doesn't use his actual memory. He always will think, what is that? And then he'll actually type in worst candy into the phone.
I don't know what they're called.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Candy corn.
There's like Nerfs or like the little
Nerds?
chalk. No, they're like Nerfs, like the big Nerfs, but they're the small ones.
You're
They're
thinking
like
of Peeps. That's Easter.
No.
Yeah, what the Nerfs?
They're like chalk. They're like little circles. And they're like chalk.
Oh, the long.
Yeah, the long tube of them.
Yeah, those things.
Yeah, I didn't like those.
You know what those are.
Those are gross.
Okay. Did you guys primarily go to the same neighborhood or the same people when you guys were trick or treating? Did you guys have your same route?
Rarely trick or treated together. I don't remember we did it a lot together because by the time you were 4 years ahead.
True, but when we did, it was right on. We might even came by here.
Oh, really?
It was right on the
Yeah,
front.
it was right around these.
All right,
area.
so then it's probably the same people that owned some house that even though you guys maybe didn't go to the same time at the same time, but more than likely the same people owned the house and you guys eventually would trick or treat at the same place, but years apart. What house scared you the most that you could remember to go trick or treat on? Do you have that one?
I don't remember a house scaring me, but I know that there was a house on the Framboys that did a haunted house every year.
It was Osborne's dad.
Yeah.
Jay Osborne's dad.
Oh, Stan.
And
Yeah.
I remember every year that they had a haunted house, and I remember. So I had my motion masks every year.
Yeah.
If I put them out at a yard sale, he'd come by and somebody would buy them for that. because they were all like mad clowns with murder, like stuff like that. So they would use them for that.
Yeah, we had a neighbor that did that, but I remember that haunted house because
he always had his hearse out front.
Yes. Yeah, and Jay was a guy that I would, because I lived out in Selleck, I was on Stan's Mojo Riders baseball team. So I would
just a haunted town.
I would walk from Kibler or JJ
to Selleck?
No,
That's a long way.
to La Framboise Street.
You don't get to call it that good. It's the Framboise.
The Framboise.
I'd go to his house all the time. It was awesome. And they had this. Did you guys know Jay back in the day?
Yeah.
Did you guys remember that thing? They have a mattress in the back of their yard, like a massive foam pit, back before like Nitro Circus, and you could just jump into this foam pit like from their monkey bars and stuff. It was awesome.
That's where Andy lived, right across the street.
Andy
Cardenas.
Oh,
yeah,
no, I didn't.
Because Poncho lived there. I remember playing baseball with Poncho, and I'd walk like went over the house
directly across the street.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that at all.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Little Enumclaw history for you guys.
Brought to you by Mazatlan.
Brought to you by Mazatlan, the foam pit across the street. You didn't have did you have a scary spot? Creepy like old man that would sit out
there
there?
was an old cat lady on the corner.
Yeah, that old cat lady gave you candy when it wasn't Halloween. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that.
She did. She gave us Reese's cups.
She didn't even hand out candy for Halloween.
I
She
know.
handed out pencils.
No, we got candy and it wasn't Halloween.
Are you sure it wasn't you? You went inside and she gave you candy.
We did.
Touch you in some no spots?
It smelled like cats in there. I don't know why we went in there. We went in there one time and it smelled like cats, like really bad.
Because she's an old cat lady.
Who's
And
we? Who's
or
we?
was.
One of the neighbors.
You ever seen him again?
No, that's now that you say that.
I thought that was a Goosebumps book that I read, but you're right. That was my real
I took
life.
my peanut butter cup and ran. I don't know what he did.
Never saw him again. I thought his family moved.
I blocked out that experience.
Did you guys ever do your own type of like? Because I remember when I bought my house the first time around, I was like, dude, it's Halloween. And I'm gonna get crazy. Did you guys ever do the whole like, let's just get crazy this Halloween and decorate it like to the nines?
So I'm gonna tell you right now. Been married 20 years. Both my kids are high school age or older. I have not once handed out candy or did anything for Halloween.
Except for like going to
taking the kids somewhere. But at my own house, I've never decorated for Halloween and I've never handed out candy.
Well, I would go with them to go trick-or-treating. I dress up sometimes to go with them when they were younger. I never would do it at my house. In fact, I lived in Copperwyn, where that was a major place for people coming. And I would make sure my light was off, and I'd park my vehicles in front of my stairs so nobody could get up to my door to knock. I was like, the light's off, and you can't get there, so there's no reason for you to come up there.
And that was it?
So, I don't know.
You guys just like shun people away?
Basically.
You guys pretended that you guys were not like anyone that celebrated anything? Like, just Jehovah's Witnesses over here.
Well, it depended on what. I was gone most of the time with them when they were younger, but when they got older and I just sat at home, I turned all the lights off and I played video games and didn't listen for anybody.
And there was one Halloween where when we lived over by Garrett, that the kids went out to do trick-or-treating, and I opened up the garage door, and the garage door didn't come back down. So it stuck, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there as the kids go do their thing, trying to fix a garage door as it's stuck, with parents letting their kids come up and asking me trick-or-treat. I'm like, no candy, because I was so upset with the garage. Like, how do you let your kid come up
Just
here?
screaming at children. Can't you see? I'm fixing a garage door.
I'm working. That's the scariest thing we've ever seen. Like I just screamed at it.
Did you see that ginger? Is that a costume?
He had a lot of white makeup on.
Yeah. He's
I
scary.
think his hair was on fire.
Is that Ghost Rider fixing a garage door?
That'd be a good costume. And I got to carry on a chain.
Fixing a garage door.
I want you to dress up as Nick Cage as Ghost Rider, though. That would be better.
I have to dye my hair black.
Yep.
It's
Or just wear a wig.
Nope.
You can't
gotta go all
You
out.
can't grow your hair long enough to do that. What are you getting extensions for? Oh, just for a costume.
So did you guys hear the story? Probably have. I'll remind some of the new listeners. I'm going to tell this Halloween story. Well, last year my candy bowl was stolen, right?
We heard about it.
And I did a GoFundMe,
Yeah.
and I got $15.
Did you buy a new bowl?
I know I never cashed it, and it says people get their money back after a year if you don't touch it. So all those people put like a year IRA and didn't, they're gonna get their $5 back with no
interest.
with
at
no
all.
interest.
Good investment.
It's gonna hit. It's like, what? How do I get $5 on my bank account? Like, where'd this come from?
Nobody's gonna even know.
They
Won't even notice. Well, I would, except my bank account's dry right now. But I'm like, sweet, $5.
Go to the casino.
But my favorite Halloween story was that Sadie took the kids trick-or-treating, and so I sat out front dressed as a scarecrow. I put a couple hoodies on or a couple sweatshirts on, kind of like made myself look stuffed, and I wore really baggy jeans and barn boots that looked like, basically. And then I what was on my, I had like a pumpkin head, like a mask or whatever. I can't remember what it was exactly. Anyways, I just sat there. Did you guys hear this story yet? Have I told you this story?
I believe I've heard it before.
Okay. Well, I'll keep going with it.
Yeah.
It's always good to hear another story, even though you heard it before. And I'm holding the candy bowl in my lap, and I got my gloves, my snow gloves on my hands, and so it looks like I'm just stuffed and not moving. And kids would come up, and I wouldn't get every kid. Like, I would just kind of let parents be staring at me like, oh, there's a guy right there. But I would just kind of hold it, and then if you do it all the time, then people, will hear it. So I got a few kids. It was pretty fun. I would kind of move a little bit. Like if it was basically anyone that was like 8 or up, I'm not going to get some 5-year-old who's
scarred for life.
Yeah, exactly. Pooping their pants right then and there. So there were 3 kids, 3 like shouldn't be out, like probably 13, 12, 13, 14. Like come on now. You shouldn't be trick or treating. They had nothing, like no outfit. They were just walking around, and if they saw somebody that had candy, like a bowl sit out, they would just go grab it, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, they opened the gate, these 3 kids, and you could tell like one was like a ringleader. He's kind of the jerk asshole of the group. It's kind of like tells the other 2 what to do. And so he's like, hey, you guys, like go get some candy from that guy, from that thing over there. And you can hear him like, I don't know. I think it's a guy. I think he's trying to scare us. And then, like, what are you afraid? It was like Biff from like Back to the Future. What are you, chicken? And he shoves the one of the kids towards me, and so the guy walks up and grabs the candy, and I don't move. And so then he walks back down. Then the other kid, not the jerk kid, but the other kid goes up there timidly, and he also pulls the candy. And I don't move. I'm like, I'm going for this kid, this jerk ass face kid. I'm gonna get him so good. And so then the big like he's got all the confidence in the world. You guys were afraid of that? Oh, I can't believe you guys are afraid of that. Stuffs his hand like right into the like grabbing, and my wiener's in it. No, I'm kidding. No, that's
Wow.
I got him so good. No.
And then I yelled, "You assaulted me sexually!"
No.
He's like, "Is that a fun size?"
No. I said no. Okay, so literally, this is a real joke. So a real story. He puts his hands to just grab a bunch of candy, because now he's like the big bull, and I just jump up, and this kid, I probably could have got sued. Where he would, like, if he broke his arm or something, like it would have been on me, and because he was running he was knocking the kids over as fast as he could out of there, and got super fast away.
You're just lucky you weren't in the wrong neighborhood, because you would do that to somebody and you just got punched in the face.
Well, no, these kids were like 12 or 13.
Like, That doesn't matter.
No, they're Enumclaw kids.
That's what I mean.
They're pussies. Anyway.
If anybody knows where he lives now,
He just called you all out. Any 12 to 15-year-old.
This guy's been following me around for the past few years. There's actually he probably stole the bowl of candy last year. He's like, yeah, I got that guy back.
He's playing the long game.
that would be awesome.
That's so. What if he did? And he has the only reason he gets married young and has kids is so that he can just maybe they can go and trick or treat and somehow.
You do it again, and he teaches them to kick you in the nuts or something. He's like, you see that one? Hey, there's a guy in there.
He's like, oh, you're, he's sitting there, and the kid walks up. He's like 8, and he's a cowboy. He's got pistols, and it's a real gun. Just shoots me in the chest.
That's for my dad.
And then he cocks it again and shoots me again. He goes, that's for me.
And then he takes your candy.
Again.
Fun size, bitch.
Well, I hope everyone has a good Halloween. Are you guys doing a Halloween party this year again?
We'll be at.
I'll be watching a football
NFL
game live.
That's
on
right.
Halloween.
Are you guys gonna dress up? Dress up as a friggin' Eagles fan and a Colts fan?
Craig's gonna dress
I'm
up as a
dressed up as
Colts
fan.
He's gonna dress up as a Colts fan.
You have to, don't you?
We're at the 50-yard line, row 1. Yeah, I should probably dress up like.
And the Colts are playing who?
The Titans.
Do they have a Vax Pass and all that? You have to go through and all. Oh, hopefully not.
I'll just call up Derrick Henry. Be like, hey, get me in.
Get me in.
Yes. That's the one guy who you know.
Wait, they're playing Colts and who? And the Titans?
That's why I said.
Oh, I thought you were.
And I'm going to just keep yelling. Here's what Corey doesn't know. I'll share it on here. Because that day, I have Derrick Henry in fantasy football. So I'm just going to keep yelling, I hope he runs for a touchdown.
Are you guys playing each other that week? Have you guys looked to see who your schedule is?
I haven't even
I
looked.
don't think
Oh,
so.
how awesome would that be? Just Corey losing right before his eyes against you. You're just like, and all you're doing is wearing
I'm yelling that he breaks his leg.
You're wearing a motion mask that just says Derrick Henry or whatever. What is a motion mask?
They're like animotion masks, so the mouth moves when you talk, so it looks like it's the real thing.
Oh, so no wonder. That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah. So now, if I ever get a costume again, I'm gonna try to get I get better ones every year. But we haven't had a Halloween party for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, you guys gonna give up on all that.
Yeah.
Well, it got to the point.
Somebody.
It got to the point where
is
the last
quit
one,
having
the
it.
last one we had, it was all like couples, and then by 11 o'clock, everybody was like, "Oh, we're either drunk or tired." It's not like the 2 a.m. where we were still playing beer pong anymore.
Smashing drywall in and getting paint everywhere.
Cops showing up.
Did cops show up to you?
Couple
guys?
years.
Hey, you guys got to keep it down. Neighbors complaining.
Yeah. A little bit of noise.
They're like, "Whoa, it's the Blue Man Group." This is
You guys come outside, take a picture.
You're like, "Hey, man, Blue Lives Matter." All right, let's do some shout-outs. Shout-outs. Or shit-outs if you want. If there's any shit-outs you want to do. I'm going to shit-out Patreon. The reason I'm shit...
All of them?
Whoa!
No, not the Patreon.
You're gonna shit on Patreon?
No, Patreon.
Uncalled for.
They're taxing more. And I'm having I had one person reach out and say, "Hey, can I just Venmo you this? Because I don't want to be taxed anymore." And I'm like, anything to get out of push-ups. Technically, it's Patreons that I have.
Yeah, because there's no board yet.
Still no board. And I ruptured a spleen. And I don't want to be sore for my birthday party tomorrow, so I'm not doing them tonight. I'll pretend though.
He doesn't care about you.
All right, let's pretend real quick. Eric Madrid, Holly Graham.
Why'd you stop on Holly like that?
For her, she paid me extra.
I think she would have paid you extra not to hear that. That was creepy.
I did do a holograph.
Wait a minute. I think that might have been reflex, Craig, because it's Thursday night. We're not supposed to be here.
No, you guys. By the way, I'm ushering you guys out very fast. And all right. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna shit out them, and I'm thinking about maybe doing my own website, or maybe doing the Venmo thing. I don't want people to pay. Like, I have to pay taxes. I get it. That's okay. I understand it. But when they start taxing people that are trying to support me, and so I have to pay more. Like, if someone's giving me $20 and that's it, and I get like $16.50 of that, I'm okay with that. But if they have to pay, in order for them to pay me $20, they have to pay like $22.50. It's like, that kills it. It's stupid. So I hope that's not what they're doing. But they sent an email out that are like, hey, you're gonna get taxed when this happens from now on. So F that.
Yeah.
Who wants to go next?
I'll give a shout out to my brother right there across from me, because when this comes out, we'll be in Indianapolis having a good time.
Having a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be awesome.
Are we gonna have to? What time do you guys leave?
Well, we fly out Thursday.
Are we gonna have to link up again?
Well, I figured that's why we were doing more tonight.
Well, no, we got football starting soon.
Yeah. Well, we can go live from there
Ooh,
for a fantasy football.
that'd be kind of fun. Yeah, maybe we will.
We'll talk about that off air.
Off air.
Live from the hotel room.
Yeah, we'll talk.
We'll go live from Manning statue right in front of the.
Yeah.
Corey will be mounting it.
That's my shout out. My shout out is to Peyton Manning. Hopefully you hear this and you come to the game and I meet you.
You're on the 50-yard line with me.
Yeah.
How many rows back?
First row.
One.
You guys are first row? Would you guys win some radio contest?
No, I decided if I was going to go, I was going to pay the money and I would sit where I wanted to sit.
How much is that?
The tickets?
Yes.
When I bought them, I think they're $4.50 a piece.
And what do you think you could sell them now for?
I have no idea.
You probably could make money off it if it's the Colts who are doing decent and the Titans who are doing great. You're good. They're a fun team to watch. You could probably make some money off that.
There's no amount of money that's worth it.
You just sell Craig's.
Yeah, sorry.
Paid for them both.
You can fly there, but you can't attend the game.
How about buy you a nosebleed one? It'd be fun for you. You get to see the whole field.
This is where we separate. You're way up there. 400s.
And then you're like, Usher, please take this man away from me.
Carson!
This is not where the swine sits.
Be gone.
Yeah, how come you wouldn't call another ginger to help you? You called Derrick Henry. You have another ginger.
I only said that to see what you would say.
You have another
But
ginger on the
yes,
team
I
right
would
there.
You have
call
Derrick Henry
Carson.
on your team?
On my fantasy team.
Are you first or second?
No, it's stupid. The most
How
points in this stupid league.
How are you not first or second with
Because
Derrick Henry?
I've lost 3 games by 1 point, by
that
2
sucks.
points,
Yeah, I got one of those.
and by 6.
yeah.
I
got one of those.
have Henry and Cooper Kupp and Tom Brady.
You should be winning.
Yes,
He's like high in
It's
points.
retarded.
He's high in points.
Yeah, you're like top 4 in points.
1
You're number 1.
by far.
It's a long season.
by
No,
almost.
it's not. You're halfway through.
He's only a game out of second place.
Oh,
But points wise,
you're saying you should be undefeated at this point.
well, I did have 1 bad week. I should have lost 1 game.
Yeah. Okay.
But so
Is that week 1?
no.
No, week 1 is the
I
one where
lost
he
by
lost
1
by
point.
1 point. to me.
Was it week 3? It was when Derrick Henry only got like 5 points.
Derrick Henry didn't have a good week 1.
Yeah, he didn't. I have him.
yeah.
Yeah, no.
But so the way our league works, points are if you get 100, you're doing really good.
Yeah.
Ours is lower, right?
Yeah.
And I think I'm 70 points ahead of second place. I'm almost 1 week ahead of the second place person in points for our league points. Unacceptable.
Anger.
Yes.
Punching things. Thanks everyone for listening. Have fun, Corey and Craig, at the Indianapolis Titans game. We're rooting for you to root for them,
For the Colts.
for the Colts. And are you going to be rooting for the Colts?
That day, yes.
Would you ever root for the Eagles?
If I went to a game with him live, yeah, because I don't have a death warrant. I'd wear an Eagles jersey and I'd act like I belong there.
Let's go, Vic. All right, everyone. Have a good Halloween. Enjoy your lives. Take care.
Goodbye.
Hello.